it's all much appreciated. And just first off the bat, how are things with you, man? How's life treating you?
Everything's going good, man. I've been talking about a lot of wrestling these last few days. I just, left vacation, but I'm back on the grind. There's so much stuff going on in the wrestling business all the way across the board. Great time for wrestlers, great time for wrestling fans, great time for the industry. I'm excited, had a great year and a half being a part of New Japan Pro Wrestling, and our company is just it's such a big company that's growing so quickly that it's just unreal to be a part of it. And now to be partnered up and on board with Global Force Wrestling, and we're going to start those shows. We're going to kick off the Grand Slam Tour June 12th and 13th in Tennessee. All the details on the Global Force Wrestling website for that. And I promote my own shows here in the States, WrestleAmerica. So check us out too, WrestleAmerica.com. Follow it on Twitter at WrestleAmerica or on my Twitter at ImpactDoc. But things are good, man. It's good to be busy, and it's certainly a busy time.
Yeah, I mean, definitely for you, because the way things are, you're certainly among one of the most sought after guys in the business at the minute, because you're so integral to the Bullet Club in New Japan. Just as far as you and your in-ring things are going at the minute, you must be really feeling just on top of the world.
Yeah, man. I think that there's not been a better time in my career because, Bullet Club thing has just turned into such a movement, and we got such a great group of guys who brought together their fan bases, and I think the fans can tell that we all work really hard, but we're all having a lot of fun while we're doing it, and we got basically, some creative freedom to do our own stuff, and it's really come together and made for a really cool thing. The whole Bullet Club, the Biz Cliz, the Too Sweet, all that. The fans are digging it. We're definitely digging doing it. So it's very cool.
I think from thinking back across your career, I mean, you've been really central in quite a few major groups as it's gone. I mean, obviously you had Straight Edge Society, and then you were in Aces and Eights, and now in Bullet Club. Just as far as Bullet Club goes, how did that come about that you joined that?
Well, TNA and I had a year agreement with a 1-year option. They missed the option. We were trying to renegotiate. It didn't work out. I ended up leaving TNA, and I had been friends with Machine Gun Karl Anderson, my current partner.
Yeah.
And we were kind of talking, and he was looking for a partner, and I was looking for the next place to go. And I'd always wanted to work for New Japan. So it just presented a unique opportunity for the Tag League in 2013. We had never done anything in a ring together. We'd seen each other's work, but that was about it. And I went over to Japan in November of 2013, and we tagged up in the tournament. We ended up just having great in-ring chemistry together. Won that tournament, and went on to win the tag team titles in the Tokyo Dome. And the Bullet Club, has just continued to gain strength. Like the month before I came in, they had Young Bucks, and then, AJ Styles came in after I'd been there for a little while, and it's just really grown and become something really cool, and I'm really, really happy to be a part of it.
I mean, it really is strong. I mean, there was some, well, worry's the wrong way to put it, but when Fergal had left, there was the thought of saying, okay, what's going to happen next? And then AJ has come in, and you as a group just seem to have gone from strength to strength. What do you think is next for the Bullet Club as such?
Well, I don't feel like it's cooling off. I feel like it's getting hotter, and I think that what you're going to see now is with, Global Force Wrestling, and with, we got Bullet Club guys coming over to the UK, going to Europe, going to Australia, and doing all this stuff. I think that you're going to get more of a worldwide feel on the Bullet Club thing. And, Jeff, it's called Global Force Wrestling, and I think he named it that for a reason because, he's partnered up with all these promotions in all these different countries on all these different continents. So that's going to present a unique opportunity for people to see us live, to see our content on television, on the internet, and everything like that. And I think that, the Bullet Club's going worldwide now. It's going to be a global takeover, and I'm really.
I mean, as far as Global Force goes, are 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 you able to do TVs and stuff with them, or are you just there for the able to do? Oh, we have a slight hitch. We've been dropped, but we shall come back in a little momento.
Hello?
Hi.
Alright, yeah, there we go again. Yeah, so we were talking about the Bullet Club, and I just feel like with all the stuff going on in wrestling, it's going worldwide. I think it's awesome.
Obviously, as far as Global Force goes and Bullet Club within Global Force, are you able? Obviously, the Jeff has TV tapings in July and August. Are you able to do the TV tapings, or are you just in for the shows? If you know what I mean.
No, I'm doing the August TV tapings. I can't do July because that's our New Japan has our G1 tournament, which is our big heavyweight tournament every. I will be second set of TV tapings. That'll be when I start doing TV stuff for Global Force then. So yeah, I will be involved in the tapings once, based upon availability, and yeah, I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, you say it's an exciting time. I think, especially for wrestling fans in the US, because you've got New Japan that's on Access. Ring of Honor have now got on to Destination America with TNA, and obviously there's concern about TNA on there, but you've got Lucha Underground going, you've got NXT, which is continuing to develop almost outside of WWE. It really, it's an awesome time for them. How do you see, or how do you hope that Global Force will find another gap in that, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that Jeff's going to find an outlet. I know that he been having meetings with a lot of different people to figure out the best way to distribute this thing. And he's a proven commodity too, because he's promoted wrestling for 70 years and he founded TNA, so people have a trust in him. And I really believe that he will land the best media outlet for us to get Global Force seen in as many homes as possible. And I think that there will be a TV deal that I don't know where yet. And I know he's working on a bunch of other media outlets as well, as far as internet stuff. So I think that it's going to be easier to watch this show than anything else, you know what I mean? Maybe aside from WWE, because I know he's going to have distribution so that, his content is accessible for everybody, which is very cool.
Just very quickly, sort of jumping back, I'm assuming you were, like most guys, a fan growing up. How did you get involved in the business?
Yeah, I was a huge fan growing up. I saw Hulk Hogan on TV when I was 8 years old, and I knew that I wanted to wrestle from that point on. And I started wrestling when I was a freshman in college. I was 18 years old when I had my first match. That was 13 years ago now. And I did independence for 3 years, and then got signed to the developmental system in WWE at the ripe old age of 21, and I've been making a living as a pro wrestler ever since. So I've been very fortunate.
As you say, you really have, because you joined early on and were sent down to Deep South very, very early in your career. Who had as far as trainers wise, and both guys that you were training with at the time, who had an influence on continuing to develop you in your formative wrestling years?
Well, we had a great core group there. I was there from the day Deep South opened till the day it closed. So I saw everything that ever took place in that place. And, from Bill DeMott to Jody Hamilton to Brad Armstrong, God rest his soul, to Tom Pritchard, to William Regal, to Dave Taylor. It was just a great mix of trainers that had an old school mentality, but weren't afraid to teach us, new school tricks and things like that. And every one of those guys influenced my career or taught me something that I can still carry and use to this day. And I think that it's important for any young wrestler in their formative years to just be a sponge and soak up everything that you can. Take the bad and the good, figure out what works the best for you, and do everything you can to make yourself the best performer you can be. And that was always my mindset, and I mean, it still is. I went to Japan and had to learn whole new style, all over again after being in the business 11, 12 years. And, you can never stop learning. And I think if you do that and keep that mindset, it really helps you as a performer.
Speaking of never stop learning, just while it's come into my head, I suppose I would be remiss of me not to ask you your thoughts, obviously, on Punk, who you were involved with in Straight Edge Society, but who's obviously taken the step out of wrestling and is going into UFC. Have you heard anything from him, or how do you think that he'll do going into it?
I think he's going to do great. He's one of the most determined, motivated individuals, passionate individuals that I've ever met. And I feel like he's going to do.
Hello, you there, bro?
Alright, there we go.
So sorry, yes, where are we? Punk, yes.
Yeah, so I honestly, I think he's going to do really good, obviously we're all waiting to see, but I still talk to him all the time. We're close friends and stuff, and he's still interested in wrestling stuff. We still talk about it. I think he just needed to recharge his batteries, and he's always wanted to try the fight and stuff. I wish him the best of luck at it. He's a great dude.
Bringing us full circle, let's say now to Global Force, and as you were saying, the first of their shows is Friday next week in Jackson. How or just from initial get go now, how's the feeling been from the fans that you can see the anticipation of the show's coming?
I can see excitement, and I watch my Twitter interactions, my social media stuff, and I wrestle all the time. I'm off from Japan until June 23rd, so I've been doing independent shows, and people are asking about it all. So I think that there's a really good buzz, and it's going to be a great live event atmosphere, being in these ballparks, and people getting the opportunity to come up to us, to meet us in that environment, to see all these stars and all these new matches they haven't seen before. It's really cool, and I think that it's going to be a great wrestling fan experience, being at these shows and getting, like I said, getting up close and personal with guys that, you're really familiar with, you've seen on TV, you've read about, and new faces that Jeff has scouted and brought in that maybe you haven't seen, So, I'm excited about all that.
Yeah, I think it's been interesting to see from when the original idea was floated. I had spoken to Jeff shortly after it, and now a lot of people were almost of the, we'll believe it when we see it. But now all of a sudden, the dates have come up, the TV tapings have come up, and everyone is going, okay, let's see what it brings to the plate. Do you think do you think that there'd be concern, might be the wrong way to put it, but once the shows come around, whether some of the other big groups in inverted commas will then try and squeeze you because you're producing and providing an alternative to what they're doing?
Let me make sure that my wife's ordering the food. Sorry. Let me make sure I understand the question. Do I think that the other companies are going to be upset about what Jeff's doing? Was that what
that they're going to really notice what Global Force are doing now that what Jeff talked about has become a reality, and that they might try and sort of swoop in and cause issues, if you know what I mean? Or?
Yeah, people are always going to look for stuff like that and try to do it, but number six. But I think that Jeff's a positive guy, and he knows how to navigate through all that stuff. So I don't foresee it being a huge problem. I think that he's going to be looking for a different outlet for a lot of his stuff. So I don't see where it's going to be much of a problem. And I know that Jeff has also been really open to all of us, and that's why these partnerships are working, because if you're working for Global Force, they're not going to say, hey, you're not allowed to go work for this company, you're not allowed to go work for that company. He's encouraging that. When you're not working for us, hey, go continue to get your name out there, especially the guys who don't have their names already built up, and then the guys who do, like the Bullet Club guys and stuff like that, we're still free to come and go kind of as we need to, and do other stuff. We're all committed to New Japan, and then we're working these Global Force dates, when we have the availability. But when we're not working for either one, if I run an independent show on my own, we're free to do that, and I think that that's a good thing.
Just tying it up, obviously, and let you go and get sorted. How can the fans keep up with both you on a personal level of what you're up to and with Global Force and what's happening there?
Global Force, they have a website that I can't remember right now, but I know
I think it's
Global Force
Wrestling.
Wrestling.
Global Force Wrestling. I think it's just .com. That's what I was first.
Yeah, globalforcewrestling.com. Also, their Twitter will have all that stuff.
Yeah.
My Twitter handle is @ImpactDoc, and I'm promoting everywhere I'm going and everything that I'm doing all the time. So follow me on Twitter, tweet me. I'll try to get back to you. Keep up with it, and support the wrestling movement. I don't care which company it is. Love them all. I love pro wrestling. I love seeing it do well. I love being a part of it. And as I always say, support pro wrestling from the backyard to the big leagues. Go to prowrestlingtees.com/BigLG and buy my merch.
Well, no, bro, I really appreciate it this afternoon. As I say, I know we have been rolling all over the place and talking to everybody, so it is much appreciated, and technical difficulties and everything, it's been much appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I appreciate you having me on.